So, welcome everyone. Welcome again. We will start the webinar in a minute now. Before then, thank you for joining us today. And we have our esteemed speaker with us, Sandra Anne Ghousse. Today, we will be talking about a product called MigiACE, which is developed by our partner organization. And you will go deep into how they developed it and how Sandra's company 3E is using it and leveraging the power of that system to automate their processes and making everything streamlined. So we will start with what MigiACE is. That MigiACE is a people development platform for your workplace. With this product, your company can gain access to powerful digital tools that can enhance the coaching skills of your trainers, of your managers, and ultimately improving the team's performance. So it's an overall tool to enhance productivity within your manager workforce as well as the employee workforce. And it is used currently by our customer, which is 3E Training and Education. They are based in Malaysia, and they have more than 30 years of training experience in people development and productivity improvement. And their programs strive to engage, enhance, and empower the attendees who uh, get into these training programs. So the structure of this webinar will be that we'll be first listening to Sandra, who will be talking about why did they choose this product, what were the challenges that they were facing, and then Kiru will take us through the solution, and then Sandra will talk about how it has changed their organization, what benefits are they reaping from this particular product. To give a brief about Sandra, her list of achievements are huge, so I'll just go through them one by one. She is the founder and managing director of 3E Training and Education. She is an empowerment specialist with a distinguished track record in people development and productivity enhancement. She has been working in this segment for over 3 decades. She focuses on engagement, enhancement, and empowerment programs, assisting individual companies, entrepreneurs, and marginalized communities, including refugees, to enhance their productivity for a better quality of life. Sandra has also been a member of the Executive Council for National Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Malaysia since 2013, and she has been holding key roles in that organization as a chairperson of the membership uh, and subcommittee and deputy chair for the special projects committee. So I'll ask Sandra to talk about her experience in using the product and why did she choose this product? What were the challenges that she were facing? Sandra, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rish, and thank you for inviting me to be a speaker on the panel today. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, as Rish mentioned, I am an empowerment specialist, and what we do is that we actually help people with productivity improvement and we look into people development. So, one of the projects that we were asked to look into was to actually enhance the financial literacy of women entrepreneurs in Malaysia. And what we believe is that the way we conduct training in 3E is that we actually like to focus or to be able to achieve transformation from the training. So we prefer to be able to ensure that people can implement what they've learned from the training rather than to just conduct the training and to spray and pray, yeah, as the saying goes, which is to just conduct the training and then you hope that individuals will be able to implement what they've learned. So when we looked at the actual process of helping these women entrepreneurs to pick up knowledge and to implement it in their business, we found that we had a mammoth task ahead of us because there were all these different individuals with different needs, different paces of learning. There were many different focus areas that they had to learn, to improve in. So when it came to helping them to transform and to be able to increase their financial literacy, we knew that if we were to just conduct a training for them, that we would not be able to achieve a lot of results. But if we could actually put them on a platform where they would have access to different methods of training, which includes articles, podcasts, different files and books, ebooks, and stuff like that. And at the same time, have coaches, mentors from various sources itself. If we could actually put them on this platform where they can have access to all this information at any point of time, that would be very useful. So when we looked at the task ahead, how are we going to identify, how are we going to capture the needs of these people? How are we going to feed them this information? How are we going to track who is implementing what, who needs additional help, right? And at the end of the day, be able to report on the ROI, the return of investment of the training to the funders. So we really looked at it, and with all these elements that we were faced with, we knew that if we were to manage it manually or to just use Word documents and Excel sheets, the task would be humongous for us to be able to churn out timely reports and to have everything at our fingertips at the same time. So really, this project involved managing the people, the materials, the coaches, the outcomes, the frequency. Each person had 6 coaching sessions by different coaches on top of it. Yeah. So to be able to capture the data, track it, monitor it, and to even prompt and remind people of things that they needed to implement between one coaching session to the other, and at the end of the day, churn out various reports by individual, by coaches, and for the whole project. We knew that we really had a mammoth task ahead of us. Yeah. And it was virtually an impossible task, Rish.
Thank you, Sandra, for talking about your experience with before using MigiACE. Now, Kiru will take us through what the solution is. How did they reach to a conclusion that this is something that Sandra needs and Sandra organization needs, and how it was able to solve that problem? To talk about Kiru. Kiru is the product manager of MigiACE, that he has been in this segment of people development and coaching for quite some time, and he's been leading the product design for this platform, and he has a lot of digital coaching experience which he brings to the fore, and that is how his experience helped shape this product. He is dedicated to helping his organization deliver on the mission of to bring continuous people excellence to its customers. And he has one theory that excellence can be very simple to define. It is AI powered people technology plus integration of human talent and passion results into high organizational ROE. So I'll let me Kiru talk about this in detail. Kiru, over to you.
Thanks, Rish. Good day to everybody joining us wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much, Sandra, for trusting us with this project. Right. So I'm going to actually have a simple formula for my presentation where I'm going to show you how we actually built it on Zoho Creator. And eventually I'll show you the final result, which is what we give Sandra. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen.
I'll interrupt Kiru a bit. If you have any questions during the session, you can ask in the Q&A section of this webinar on the left-hand side, and we'll take these questions towards the end of the session.
Okay. Is my screen visible, Shish?
It is.
It is. Okay, good. Okay, so this is Zoho Creator. So no, let me highlight the problems that Sandra's team faced when she came to us. So the first most clear problem is she didn't have such a big team, but the project was quite big, because she had to manage a lot of coaches and many different participants. So she needed a way to actually bring a lot of data into one single place and actually organize it in a way that her small team could come up with actionable insights and keep track of everything that was going on. So you're looking at Zoho Creator here. This is a page builder. It's so simple because it's all drag and drop. So you can see a panel. I can just go ahead and create something like this and bring in data from the platform. If I want a chart, it's so easy. a search function, if I want to embed a form in there, or if I want to show a report, any report I have on the system. And furthermore, but Zoho Creator is not just something which is for the basic developer. If you are a seasoned developer and you want to actually add your own code and make it more complex and bring it to the next level, you can actually put in HTML snippets like what I've done here. Simple bringing in all the HTML elements. It's okay if we don't understand this, but the beauty of this part is actually that Zoho Creator allows you to actually combine their built-in code system, which is actually Deluge, which is a very simple system which any beginner can pick up easily, and actually combine it with HTML. So the result is you get this really rich combination of pages where you can actually show data from the system, while using the Power HTML to build a nice, user-friendly experience. So basically, the result of this is something like this. So so this is what Sandra's team got. So this is the admin page. So going from the top where you can see the data in different hierarchy. So here basically they can see what's going on in the system right now. They got a few programs live, and how many sessions are going on right now, and how the goals are progressing as well in the system. And then coming down, they can actually see more about the activity on the platform. Like, has everybody logged in? Are people starting to use it? And how is the activity each week? And how's the competency rates on the platform? Based on the different skills that people are working on in the coaching programs that Sandra's team is offering. And then coming further down, you want to get into more details. So we're showing them, how many people are on the platform, the total users, and also the capacity, cloud capacity, because here we, like Sandra mentioned, so we have an option actually for people coaches to actually upload their own content onto the platform. And on this side, you can see the feedback that's been happening on the platform. So Sandra's admin found it very easy to actually understand what was happening, without having to dive too deeply or to keep contacting everyone and, to keep track of what was happening. And then they could also see what programs they were running at the same time, and more details for the activity levels. If they really want to understand where actually people really using all the features. Just for example, if it's a power user, that means they've actually used all the features on the system. They're setting goals, they're writing journals, they're attending all their sessions. And minimal user might be somebody who's just maybe attending sessions and that's it. And they also could see the upcoming sessions, so they know, okay, things are actually moving. Coaches are using the system. And then, so the other thing, so this is how we actually showing data on the system. But the other important part is actually how we collect the data, right? So Zoho Creator is this really wonderful form builder, which is really very drag and drop and very visual, as you can see on the left-hand side here, So you can just choose any different element I want to have in my form, I got so many different things. You can have images, you can have lookups into other form, even a signature field, and then even more complex things like AI integrations where you can actually capture keywords that people have inputted into a text field, or even sentiment analysis, which can tell you if something someone said is positive or negative or neutral. So we use this to actually build this form that you can see here, which is actually the main form which Sandra's team has used to build the program. So this really captures all the data about the program that they're creating, like what type it is, the name of the program, the details, having a photo. And also there's lots of information about how they're going to automate the program, like how many sessions they're going to have, how long is it going to run, do they need to have a discovery session? Are they even going to run assessments? So everything here has been created in this one form. So to show you the end result of that, so I'm just going to go to the program part in our platform. I'm going to select this program, which is a coaching program called Leadership Excellence. So you can see here, so this is when you build the program using that form, this is what you would see, gives you information about the program, how many minimum sessions, what kind of assessment you're going to have. Is it going to be 360 yourself? And like I mentioned, discovery sessions. And when is the system going to follow up? So follow up, I mean, here is like in Sandra's program. So they had to have a self-assessment here. So what happens when the program begins? So the system will automatically actually send out the invite to do the assessment after the first session is over. And then here, right after the last session, so after the second session, immediately we'll send you a invite to do the post-assessment. So this will kind of give you an understanding of how far they've actually progressed, and their growth after going through this coaching program with Sandra's company. And gives you more information about the competencies they've been working on. So these are the things that will be assessed during the assessment. Like Sandra mentioned just now, one of the challenges was, because she had so many different requirements for participants, like some had to learn a different skill from the others. So this is where this came in really handy, because you could actually assign different competencies to different groups of people, and manage it there. And coming further down in this platform actually has the ability to capture the ROI of the programs, like what kind of KPIs were met and whether the outcomes of the program were met. Like, for example, here's, we want to see whether the session satisfaction was high enough, and whether the minimum goal achievement was met, and whether the competency growth was actually positive, So to show you the form just now, so, if I'm looking into this, so this is what the form looks like, the one that we built in the back end just now, You can track the progress, like I was showing you just now, choose what kind of assessment you want, when you're going to follow up, and which competencies you're going to be assigning to the people here. And again, what KPIs we're going to track, and which objectives we want to measure at the end of the day. You can add a few more. We have a few built-in options, like you can even measure the retention that happened through this program, and even promotion rates. So after Sandra creates a program, all she needs to do is match people up, by just selecting this, then they just select who's the coach and the participants. And they just create this engagement, and then everyone gets invited, So that was the first part. That's how we solved the first problem, getting everyone on the platform, collecting the data, and showing it in a meaningful way that the program admins could actually take charge of everything without Sandra having to have a really big team, So then, moving on to the second challenge that she faced. Because, again, like I said, coaching is very personalized, like she mentioned. And every different participant usually needs to be fed different kind of information, like she mentioned. So a different participant needs to have a curated set of content based on their needs, right? So that is what we did was actually we built in an integration with a different Zoho service called Zoho Work Drive, okay? Because Zoho Creator makes it so easy to connect all the different products in one place. All you need to do is create a connection between it. Like, so here we have this Work Drive connection, right? So once we do that, we're able to actually have people input data on this platform, and it'll be stored in Work Drive. And at any time, they can actually pull it up through this platform. So at the end of the day, nobody actually has to go into Zoho Work Drive because everything's been integrated onto this platform. So I'm just going to log into a coach's account to show you actually how they can do this, right? So I'm just going to jump down here to this content part. So here's where they actually can create all the different content on the platform. So you can see there's some things here, like Sandra mentioned, they needed a lot of different types. So, articles, audio, PDF, video. If you're going to look into the creation of it, it's so simple, So this is where they can actually pull in the things that happen. So if I'm just going to show you what happens when I click on upload a new file. So this is where they're going to access Zoho Work Drive. This is where the integration is. Okay, maybe my internet's not going to allow this right now. So I'm just going to go back here. We might come back to that later. So, so to show you what they can create. So this is an article. Preview this. This is what it looks like here. And even a podcast. It's very simple. And as you can see, it loads instantaneously. No matter how big the file is, you can play it right away. Even if you got a PDF, you can just put the PDF right here. And again, another wonderful part of building it like this is that the coach's content becomes private to them. The participants cannot actually download anything or copy anything so easily. And that was another important thing which Sandra needed as well. And they can share videos very easily. So it's very rich content creation system. And then they can also manage the cloud drive through here, you can see everything they have here, one click and you can see what the file looks like, So what I have in here. So now let me show you how they actually assign this content to participants, right? So looking at a program that the coach has, we'll go down here to this one called Wellbeing at Work. So this coach is actually coaching somebody named CT, right? So you can see here, this is the program name. And it gives you some information up here, what's been happening in the program. But let's just look at the content part first, okay? It's just towards the end here. So I'm going to share something here with CT. So this is going to look at all the content which I have on my, we saw this now in my content section, right? So I'm just going to choose any content first. Okay, let's say this one. 4 steps to measure the impact of coaching. I can even choose to schedule it, meaning that she will not receive it until the date. So if I put on the 8th, this will only appear to her on Monday. Until then, nothing. So but let's just share it right now. So then it's this right here, and then she can access this as well. And it looks just like you saw just now. So she can read it anytime. This is what it looks like here. And then as a coach, they can do a few other things. Like she said, they needed to streamline the whole interaction between a participant and the coach. So just going back to the first part, So here under overview, they can actually set coaching sessions and also see what's happened, So these are all the sessions they had. This has all been done. And another really cool feature we had was they can actually create posts here. So, this is in a nutshell, a discussion that they can start with their participants, So here, they were talking about stress at the workplace. So the coach has given some ideas and, the participant is asking them to elaborate on it and can easily add more comments, and keep the conversation going. And then moving further down, they can manage all the activity that's happening in the engagement in one place. Like they can actually give them assignments, like this is one to create a new leadership practice. And they'll actually know when it's been submitted as well. And they can see what the person has written. And they can check out the goals that Ziki has right now. So she has one goal. You can see the progress of it and how she's actually tracking it as well. And share journals if she's shared any of her journals with you. And the thing I mentioned earlier, assessment, so they can actually see the results here. So, I'm going to just click on this to give you more details. So they can see how she scored during the pre and then the post, and then you get the growth that she's actually had in these 8 weeks of coaching. So these are the kind of results that, Sandra said she needed to capture at the end of the day. And a coach can make his own notes, which is always private to the coach itself, And then again, back to the content. And then more information about the program down here as well, the who's in it and what competencies are they working on, and what are the outcomes that they're seeking from this particular coaching engagement, right? So I'm going to actually move on to the final and the biggest challenge that Sandra faced was actually the reporting part. Because like I showed you just now, we've collected so much of data. There's so much of activity on the platform. We needed a way that, we could show things in a meaningful way, which Sandra would find it easy to actually report to at the end of the day, and her team could keep her up to date with what was happening, So Zoho is a very powerful built-in reporting tool. So I'm going to show you this one. So here they can actually, this is a tool to actually build graphs or, different type of visual representations of data in the system, Looking up here, you can choose what types you want. There's so many, Just going down all the way, all to different types. There's even map charts, heat maps, anything. So you select this based on what you want to show. You can even have a trend analysis. This is where the AI comes in. After you got a few points, you can tell you if this thing is which way this whole thing is trending towards. So here I have a simple chart which I've actually built to show you the difference between the pre-assessment rate and the post-assessment rate. So the gap here is showing us the growth that's actually happened between both, right? And building it's very easy. On the side you can see all the different data points that I've collected, so I can drag and drop them in my axis as I please. But this one's very simple. I've just used the added date versus the actual data itself. And we can add in a lot of different filters which the users can actually use at the end of the day, So I've added a few here, like based on the type of program, what category and the period that we want to show the data. So the end result of this looks something like this. So I'm just going back to sign back into my admin platform real quick. Okay, so under this insights part, so we're going to look at a few different ones just to give you an idea of how this data comes out when you create it there. So participation rates. So this gives Sandra an idea of how people are actually using the platform. Are they actually using it based on the weeks? So you can see it here. As the weeks went by, how was the trend of usage? It dipped and it came up. And what's the participation rate currently in April? So this is all for April, and then you can also see the number of sessions, the hours that have actually been put in on the platform, based by week. And then looking back here, these were the filters that we created earlier, you can choose the period of review and, which kind of programs. I just want to look at coaching or mentoring if you got a lot of programs, and types and even specific programs, I can just look at one program itself. So this was really wonderful when it came to, showing the data in a presentation, even, like, okay, so this is the outcomes, this is what's been happening right now. So it's very easy to report on the program itself, and then finally you can look at actually how people have been adopting the platform, who's been invited, who's active, and even more details on the activity levels. And then going down real quick here, we can see more detailed information about how people actually enjoyed the coaching sessions or not, So people are actually able to give a review once it's done. So, you can get something like this. It's not very clear, but, this is something like, let's see if we can turn to something else. Yeah, so, you can see the trend of it. And also breakdown of the ratings, like as many people thought they were excellent, people thought it was good, great, based on the months. And also the actual feedback, which you saw earlier. And this one is really interesting because this is where we use AI field to actually, pull in keywords from all the feedback that was given. And then this keyword cloud's going to show us, what people have been actually talking about the most during the coaching sessions. So you can see here, emotion was really high, and people are talking about leadership and loyalty further down the ladder. So it kind of gives you an idea of what's been happening, during the coaching. And then here, I'm just going to show you the competencies that we were talking about earlier, how we actually track the progress. So now here, this might look a bit complex, but don't worry about that. It just gives us an idea of how the different types of competencies in the platform have been progressing. So, just to show you, so you can see, these green ones, which are team-based, are not very high, but the ones which are leading others were pretty high. So, this gives you an idea that leadership is pretty strong in this particular organization, but team-related skills are not so much, So this is how you kind of understand the graphs. And again, the one that I showed you just now that we built, gives you the gap shows that, look, there's been actually a growth, from the pre to post assessment time. And here, if you want to look at very detailed view of the different competencies that people have been working on. Then finally, if you want to drill down even further, you can actually see how leadership has been progressing in the company. So leadership competency rates have been going through January to December, and this one. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you actually is, before we go back to Sandra, Zoho Creator is this really powerful detailed view reporting. So, just to show you what it is, it's very visual, and you can actually build out, show all the data you've collected in one place in a really nice, presentable way, which you can actually just email it to somebody as a PDF, So again, it's very visual. Now I pull in all the fields from my left side and, show it how I want to. I can organize it, the different types, here. So this is the canvas builder. So the end result looks something like this. So now I'm going back to my programs, the one that we were looking at just now. Okay, this time I'm going to look at a completed program, completed engagement. So this one. So clicking on it is going to show us this now the canvas builder that we've actually used. And now all the data is right here. It's ready for you to just send it to somebody. So this is the kind of report that Sandra needed at the end of the day. Who was in it, what sessions, what were the reviews, what did people think about them, the goals that went on, assignments and content, if any, and the assessment results. And again, what happened during the pre and the post. And again, the competencies that she worked on, how she scored during the pre and post. And again, the outcomes. And finally, the feedback and review that was given after the sessions and after the program itself. And again, what the coach thought about everything, So kind of this is how we actually used our platform to solve the problems that Sandra's team faced, when they were running this project, right? Okay, Shri, so I think that is all from me. So back to you for the next part.
Thank you, Kiru, for taking us through the product. And I hope we got some insights on how this can be used in your organizations or your coaching programs. Sandra, how did this product help you to revamp your systems or maybe get more out of your coaching programs?
Right. So as you can see, Shrish, I'm smiling because basically MigiACE has helped me to smile, looking at the volume of work that we had to do, and we were able to just get it done very easily. So I'll give you a real example of what happened this morning. I had a coaching session with one of the participants. Now, she has been away for 6 weeks because she was traveling. And just 10 minutes before the coaching session, I was able to go into the system. I was able to take a look at the notes of what we discussed at the last session. I was able to see how many assignments she had completed and the new files that she had loaded for me to take a look at. Yeah. So we started the session, and of course, we even had time to discuss her trip to Egypt and what she saw. And, in just 1 hour, we were able to discuss 19 coaching points, 19 areas. Some of it was from her assignments that she had completed. There were 9 assignments that she had to complete. And it was clear to see through the system that she had completed 6. We were able to go through those materials quickly and find out what were the bottlenecks for the 3 outstanding areas and when we were going to then reschedule those. We then further discussed 19 different areas which she needs to now look into before the next coaching session. And everything was captured on the system. Yeah. And so it's basically made it very, very easy for me, because when we started using the system for this program, I now just focus on the people that I'm working with. All the other coaches have their schedules, which they set together with the participants, and they go into the system at any point of time to work with the participants. The coaches come in whenever they need to. It could be at midnight. It could be, wherever they are around the world, they're able to go in and take a look at what they need to do and when the deadlines, when are the deadlines. They can input files, they can access materials. So all this is going on seamlessly while I'm now managing 10 other customers of mine. Yeah. And I just have an admin guy who is a young graduate who basically has been, taught on how to use the system, which is actually very, very user friendly. So he just goes into the system once a week, finds out where the bottlenecks are, contacts the coach or the participant to find out, whether any assistance is needed to get it going. And then he just gives me an update once a week on where the bottlenecks are. But the entire project is just moving organically at different paces. We've had some participants who are very fast, where they've completed their coaching program, their entire coaching program in 2 months. And then we have many participants by nature, who get caught up with work, and their projects are now, their coaching sessions have been dragging on for months. But whatever it is, all that data is in the system and we have access to it at any point of time. Yeah. So what has that meant for us is that for just really a fraction of cost, which was easy for me as a training provider to incorporate that cost into our training program. It didn't even feel like, we would have to charge them a lot more. For just a fraction of cost, we were able to actually help to drive change and transformation. Yeah, taking into consideration the different pace that people learn, and some want to learn a lot and some don't want to learn. Now, I'm not a high-tech person. I'm 56 years old. The person I was coaching this morning is 24 years old. Both of us were able to use the system and communicate, yeah, at our own levels of comprehension and communication, and we were able to do that and have it there, yeah. So really what I find with MigiACE is that we can help to drive transformation, not just short term, but it is something that I can carry on for a year or 2 years. So to answer Sumiti's question, can it help in teaching between teacher and student? Definitely, most definitely it can, because you are able to actually reach out to every individual and to help them individually while you have a huge massive group to take through this program as well. So and I was also able to suggest to my coachee this morning, because I'm going to be traveling to Europe at the end of the month, and we were talking about scheduling the next session, and I said, you know what, we can do the session while I'm in Europe, because all I need is my laptop. Everything is in there. So there's no more volumes of files and papers which we used to deal with before. Honestly, I can finish a coaching session, move on to my other clients, and the 1,000,001 projects and tasks that I have to do. But at any point of time when I come back, I have everything at my fingertip. Yeah. And as I said, it is user friendly. The fields are very clear and concise. I'm not saying this because I like Kiru, but seriously, it's very, very easy. It's as easy as ticking and just filling in the blanks, which I find a lot of other applications, would stress me out because I don't understand the language that they use. But here it's so simple. And at every person's time, whether you're an admin, whether you're a coachee, whether you're a coach, whether you're a head of the company and owner, like for me, I'm the owner of the business. I am the one answerable to the funders. Yeah. I need to have information at my fingertips on how well things are moving. At any point of time, I have real-time data. Okay. So, and it's updated immediately. So really all parties have all information at their fingertips. What that has meant for me as a business is that I've actually been able to reduce manpower, because now I don't need to hire a whole team of people to monitor, track, analyze. Yeah, the system does it for me. It has also been able to reduce our time tremendously, because as you can probably envision, all the things that I talked to you, if we were to manage it manually, previously to churn out reports, it would take me weeks. Yeah. Here, what we've been able to do is at the end of a 6-month coaching program, I press a button and I get a complete report telling me when the sessions were, how long they were at each session, what were the outcomes, what were the implementations, without divulging the coaching conversations. Yeah, it's picked out the main points, it shows the impacts and the outcome immediately. And that's a report that I get at just hitting a button, right? So it's reduced a lot of time, accuracy of information. There's nothing better than that, because it's immediate. Yeah. Like during my coaching session this morning, I was typing in the notes. As I was talking to her, I was typing in the notes, and she gets the copy of the notes. She gets the activities that she needs to work on. She can go back to her world, manage her own life and do her own thing, but she knows what is expected of her and what she needs to deliver, right? So information is very accurate, very easy to track. We were also able to take a look at her future sessions. And she told me, I'm going to be traveling to China and this and that. And within minutes, we were able to sort out the next future sessions and log that into the system, which admin straight away gets a notification. So he does not need to, I don't need to spend time communicating it to him. He has all the information. He's able to update his schedules as well, right? And there's privacy of information. So as a business, what it means for us is that it actually helps us to increase our revenue, because now for lesser staff, I'm able to take on more clients. I'm able to handle a bigger volume. And I don't have to worry about, having to even go into the office to do all this. I can actually work from home while my team is in the office handling other projects, and we get it done. So really, there's a saying by Navy SEALs that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And I think MigiACE has actually been able to do that. They help us to transform people. It has helped us to transform people in a very slow and steady manner. But it's been smooth, and that in return has made it very fast for us to report, fast for us to see the results, fast for anyone to get the information and to use that information to achieve higher productivity. So MigiACE has definitely helped 3E to achieve our own mission, which is to increase, productivity of people and to help people to develop as well. Okay, so I hope that gives you a good idea of why I'm so happy, actually.
This was great, Sandra and Kiru. I think this is the best review that we are ever going to get. It was really, really good. And we see that you have a lot of questions. So I would like to take a few minutes to talk about what Sandra and Kiru has talked about and give you a brief of it. So this platform is built by Migi-Te, who is our partner, and it is built on a low-code platform called Zoho Creator. And someone has asked that, can we have more features or can we map outdoor activity? So because it is built on a platform, it is completely customizable. You can build, you can add any modules, remove any modules. You can build something else entirely. We have partners who have built something in manufacturing, in logistics, etc. And Migi-Te also works in different verticals that they can provide you solutions for other verticals as well. So if you have a solution there. And one thing which Sandra mentioned, that ease of use. So if you go to the market and get a solution that is designed for a wider audience, and that is why some fields might not be relevant, some jargons might not be relevant for you. But if you want something custom for you, which works on your jargons, which works on your usability, you use 5 fields, you do not need 50 fields. So in that case, something custom makes much more sense for you. And that is where Zoho Creator and our partners like Migi-Te can help you achieve those requirements using Zoho Creator. And I'll just have Kiru take a few questions. So Kiru, someone has asked this, can we include HTML5 content similar to videos and PDF that you have included?
HTML5 content similar to videos. Well, not in Sandra's system, but like Shrish mentioned again, it can be easily customized to include this kind of things, because Zoho Creator's forms actually allow you to enable HTML5 content if you want to. You can even add code in those fields, even if you want to. You can let users add code inside there.
So,
so it's really
again, reiterating the same thing, that it is a low-code platform where anything custom can be built. For Sandra, that was not the requirement. But for you, if it is the requirement, that can be added. You can have outdoor activity as well, map into this. And extra features, it depends upon you. Yogesh, you have asked that what extra features we can have in assessment. It depends upon your systems. What do you need? And that can be built within this platform. And Navdeep has asked what all Zoho products are used to make this dashboard. I think this system has Creator, WorkDrive, and Analytics, right?
Correct, those 3, yes.
Yeah. So Navdeep, you are building it using CRM, forms, and Zoho Flow. So yeah, there are multiple ways to reach the same destination. You can use different products to build the same thing. Creator gives you much more flexibility because you can start something from scratch. So that is where Kiru has used Creator. And okay, just reading out a question. The pages UI was good. Was the pages built in HTML? Kiru?
Yeah, we use actually HTML to display a lot of the pages, but again, some pages we just use the built-in creative widgets, drag and drop everything, So it's really quite a mix of everything because, it was a very custom project for Sandra's requirements, And also, again, to answer another question I see down here, the reason we use HTML is we wanted to make it very mobile friendly as well. So it's going to resize based if you're using on a pad or using a phone, it's going to rearrange itself, based on that. So we wanted to make a very responsive web app. Yeah.
And we have one more question. Is Sandra's app mobile friendly? Does it work on mobile?
Like I just said, no, it's a fully functional web app, so they can actually use it on mobile as well, on any browser,
And that is the beauty of Creator, that it is device agnostic. Once you build on web, it is simultaneously available on mobile and tablet devices. So it can be used. Any application that you develop here can easily be used there with extra customizations for your mobile devices. And yes, we can integrate Zoom, Rahul. So if Zoom has open REST APIs, it can be integrated using Creator. And we have a lot of templates that you can use. It is called Zoho Creator App Deck. It might not be exactly the same. I'll share the link here and you can explore the app deck. We have more than 50 applications for different industry verticals. Kiru, question for you, that how much time did it take to build this on Zoho Creator and how much effort was this to build it?
Okay. I mean, if we're talking about the whole app from scratch, it took us about 3 to 4 months to build it, because with Creator, you can do things much faster, I'm talking about including testing and testing with users and coming back and fixing everything, So we just said 3 to 4 months. And then, we customize everything for Sandra in about 1 month, it's quite fast because, again, Creator makes these things much easier, rather than building everything again from scratch. So, yeah.
Yogesh, we'll have to get on in a one-on-one session that can be integrated with Trainer Central, and what will be the cost. That will be based on your requirement. So we can have a discussion. You can reach out to us in the emails. We'll mention those emails. So for if you have any training or coaching related queries, you can reach out to Sandra. Sandra, can you please put your email in the chat? People can reach out to you. And for us, you can reach out to hello@Zoho Creator. That will be the right email, right? Navdeep, yes. So you can reach out to our support teams. Uh, for we have different support team for different products. These support teams or our pre-sales team can help you whenever you are stuck building your system. And Yogesh, MigiACE is a partner organization. The app that they have built is called MigiACE, and that is available as an application which can be integrated to other platforms. We can explore the possibility of integration with Trainer Central. And I am not sure what Moodle is. Kiru, do you know what Moodle is? Let me search it.
Moodle. Not familiar with Moodle.
It's an open source learning management system. So we'll have the possibility of Mohammed. We'll see if that can be done. But if you can import it in CSV, XLS, these formats are directly can be imported. And just by importing it, your application will be ready. At least the basic structure of the application will be ready when you import from CSV files or XLS files. Is there any way to access the application database created by Zoho Creator? Kiru, can we access the application database? Yeah. So if you mean by whatever forms that people are filling, that what is the reports that are generated by the user entries, you can access it straight away in your application. But if the question is something else, please let us know.
Yeah, the admin can access all the data that's been created in the platform,
Navdeep, thank you so much, and feel free to reach out to us. You can, for any queries on Zoho Creator, you can write to us at hello@zohocreator.com. Kiru, can you please put your email address as well? That if
Yeah, sure.
anyone wants to try out MigiACE or wants to try out, explore different things that can be built on Creator, Kiru from MigiTe will be able to help you with that.
Yep.
Daniel, I think that is Kiru can answer that how MigiACE is going to monetize this software.
Basically what we do is if there's customization, there's a cost for it, and then the installation, and then you just buy the Zoho licenses, So we've already have a few customers, and Sandra's one of them, and that's how she did it, So
And
it's
can I
already,
just add here that, can I just add here that now what we do is that almost every training proposal that we send out, we actually build MigiACE in as a coaching component, so that we really sell transformation, helping the customer to drive transformation. So we always put that element in, and I'm very confident to be able to do that, because I know that the app really takes away the entire task, really, and makes it very, very easy as well.
Thank you, Sandra, for chiming in. And is competency mapping, appraisal, assessment of pre and post workshop possible? Yes. So again, I cannot emphasize on this enough that it is completely customizable. If you want to add any modules to this application, it can be done. And based on your requirement, we can add those modules or features within the application.
Actually, Shrish, I'd like to add that we already have this right now. We didn't show it. I didn't show it in the demo just now, but you can actually do all this.
Okay, Yogesh. So if you are looking for a ready-made application, MigiACE already has this in their application, and you can reach out to kiru@migi-te.com. We'll take one or two more questions, and then we'll close the session.
There was one question on whether Zoom can be linked to the platform. So I'll just share my experience that whenever we need to schedule the sessions, it will actually ask us, is it going to be online or is it going to be in person? And if it is online, it will actually ask us which platform are we going to use. So of course, I use Zoom so I choose Zoom, and immediately it gets me to attach the Zoom link, which then notifies the participant. So when it's time for the session, they come into the platform, they click the link, and then they get in as well. So yes, it is linked very, very easily. So we don't have to, run around trying to look for links and stuff like that.
Got it. And just putting one thing out there, that we also have a platform similar to Zoom called Zoho Meetings. And as Kiru mentioned, that all the Zoho applications are very easy to integrate with. So if, let's say, you are using anything built on Creator and you want to use a video conferencing software, I think Zoho Meeting can be a good choice and can be easily integrated with your application or the platform.
Yeah, true.
Can we also create flows on Zoho Creator than Zoho Flows? Navdeep, yes. So Zoho Flow is a no-code integration builder. You can write a bit of code on Creator and integrate using REST APIs. So the only difference between Flow and Creator in integration department will be Creator will be a much more code-driven, and Zoho Flow gives you access to about 900 applications, which you can easily integrate with without writing any code in a flowchart manner. So it depends upon what is the application available on Flow or not. And if not, then you can use Creator for REST APIs. That would be all for today. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us at hello@zohocreator.com. If you want information on the training program, you can reach out to Sandra at 3etrainedu.asia. And if you want services on Zoho Creator, kiru@migi-te.com will be your point of contact. And Thank you for attending. You will receive the recording of these sessions by the end of today. And as I mentioned, feel free to reach out to us. And thank you for attending today. And thank you for Kiru. Thank you to Kiru and Sandra for giving us insights on this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rish.
Welcome,
everyone.
Shrish.